Our next stop in the Vento Nature Sanctuary tour brings us back along the Prairie Trail, where Dan McGinnis, bird expert and former director of the National Audubon Society's Mississippi River program, discusses the important bird habitat found within the sanctuary.
This wetland is really one stop in a whole series of important places along the Mississippi River Flyway, from the Gulf Coast all the way up to the headwaters, over 2,000 miles of river corridor. And really the flyway is even much longer than that. It goes from the tip of South America, where some birds migrate all the way up through the Mississippi River corridor to Canada, the boreal forest, and the Arctic. But here at Vento Nature Sanctuary, we have the kind of habitat that birds really appreciate. If you could imagine driving the length of the Mississippi, you'd want to stop at places where you could eat, rest, refuel, and that's just what the birds do here. At Vento, we've got wetlands habitat, we have prairie, and eventually oak savanna, and we have the forested bluffs. And they really kind of represent the ideal cross-section of the Mississippi River Valley here in the Twin Cities area. We've got this diversity of habitat that attracts big birds like the American bald eagle, which actually sit right in the dead cottonwood trees here overlooking the river. We have the big birds like the egrets, and in fact, when the wetland here was first constructed, within a matter of hours, an egret flew in and landed on the shore and was probably looking for small fish or amphibians for lunch. We have the waterfowl, geese, and blue-winged teal, and mallards resting here on the wetland. And even in the wintertime, when a lot of the wetland here is frozen, we have a source of water over here that comes out of a spring at a constant 55-degree temperature year-round. And the birds will actually huddle around this open water here in the wintertime and use that open water as a place to rest and get water as part of their diet. We have small birds that love to use this place, the cardinals, the blue jays. In the spring, the warbler migration through here is phenomenal. In fact, overall, there are over 300 bird species that use the Mississippi River Flyway at some part of their life cycle. And so a lot of them come through here. And I think over time, as the habitat here matures, if you will, and the prairie continues to expand, and the oak savanna with the oak trees growing in the area, it's only going to become richer. And this area is so important that Audubon has designated it an important bird area. This area is one of several important bird areas that have been determined through nominating panels by scientists and resource managers to be areas worth protecting. And so Vento is not only a place for people to come and enjoy a walk through a beautiful habitat right in the center of the city, but it's important habitat for birds as well, and is part of a much longer corridor along the entire Mississippi. So we have this cross-section of the valley here, and there's really an interesting interplay among these habitats. You'll see large birds like the red-tailed hawk sitting in a tree up here, and the next thing you know, it's coming down into the prairie here to grab a mouse or a snake for lunch. And so they're aware that they need these high places to sit and rest and watch for food, but they need these low grassy areas for their prey to actually live. So there's this very interesting combination of habitats, and that really adds to the attractiveness and the importance of this area for birds.